mai ngā iwi, tātou tātou whai a te maramatanga, me te aroha. Okay, we've gone live now. We're underway. The program is underway, and just trying to see if anybody's going to join us. If you're joining us from around the world, welcome, welcome. Okay, just trying to see now. We've got a show lined up for you today, which from the Regional Event Grants 2025 season coming up in front of us. Now, what we do have for you is an exciting program. We'll interview two recipients from the previous season of Regional Event Grants. So maybe just beginning. So yeah, so my name's Eric. I'm the USK Event Director. It's my privilege to be able to work with the executive board and driving the mission for urban sketches around the world. And of course, we can't do this. Well, it's great to do this with all the chapters around the world and in a way that is inclusive and innovative and globally connected. So what we can do, I just want to talk a little bit about the regional event grants and what the rationale for why we gave these gave this some energy and also some funding over the last 3 seasons. It's a program that was set up 3 seasons ago, and we are able to provide funding to chapters to be able to think about doing something a bit bigger than their normal regular sketching sessions. Now, the what do you call it? The regional event grants, they're equipped to assist chapters in hosting bigger events than their regular sketch outings, to build a regional sketching community, to empower the chapters to organise and create new types of events and activities. This program was also part of looking at the accessibility of sketchers to gather together to join to sketch. And of course, our premier event is the symposium that we have as an annual event, and we're currently planning that right now for August in Poznan. But these regional events also allow for those who maybe can't travel that far to a symposium or choose not to because of carbon footprint or ability or budget. And this allows sketchers from nearby communities who are maybe not part of a chapter even to sketch together with the community at large. And so we've been able to give out to deliver $2,000 to 5 chapters every season, and we've had a really good run, basically. And it's only due to those chapters who out there who are participating, to those who have a vision to create something bigger and better. So, for context, we have the smaller regular outings, and then the regional events, another step up, and then of course the premier event, the symposium. And we have discovered that the regional chapter events are desirable by many. We love to support those, and we have also discovered that by chapters running these events, they have gained confidence, developed capacity in their admins to be able to think about applying for the symposium. And most recently, of course, we were able to successfully deliver the symposium in Buenos Aires. And USK Buenos Aires was a previous recipient of regional event grant funding. Also, coming up in August this year is the USK Poznan, who are hosting the Poland Symposium, and they were also a previous recipient of regional event grant funding. So, it's not a direct line, but it does develop a level of confidence in chapters to be able to take it another step up. And so that's been a really rewarding outcome um, for this regional event grant program as well. So, what we'd like to do, so today I've invited two guests on tonight for to have a chat to talk about their experiences of participating in the regional event grant program, of going through the process of applying, planning, and delivering their regional events. And so we're going to hear from two chapters. One will be from USk Racine, who had their event in September last year, and also the team from USK London, who had their event in March this year. And so I'm really excited to share with you. Well, they will share with you their background and experiences, um, what they were able to go through there. So how about we how about we bring them on board? So what I would like to do right now is let's invite Kathi on to join us. Kathi from USK Racine will be coming in to have a chat, and I can see that the name is there. The video is doing its slow turn. So hopefully, and there we go, Kathi.
Uh,
Hello, Kathi.
Hi, Eric. Hello,
Nice,
world.
nice to see you.
It's great to
Now,
be here.
please tell us where are you right now? Where are you sketching from? And yeah, just an introduction of yourself and your chapter, please.
Okay. My name is Kathy Wilson. I'm in Racine, Wisconsin, which is on one of the Great Lakes, Lake Michigan, in the Midwest of the United States. We are just north of Chicago, about 80 miles. So we're a pretty small chapter because the big chapter is Chicago. And so that's where a lot of people had always gone sketching. And we're looking for a different place to go that was more local, since traffic is a big deal in Chicago. Yeah,
And on a regular outing for your crew, how many people turn up on average?
we're still very small. We have maybe 8 to 12.
Yeah, nice.
And one of the great things about Racine is people around the world know us for the Johnson wax. They do pledge Ziploc bags,
Okay,
Glade. So we're
yeah.
actually known around the world, but we're a small community.
How interesting. Nice one.
Yeah,
And your chapter itself, when did you become officially, part of the USK family?
2023. So we're
Right.
very new. I had met some people in Chicago, and then I met quite a few people in Holland, Michigan, which is straight across Lake Michigan. And
Hmm.
they were just starting their chapter over there. And so I got involved with them and Mary Jo and said, maybe we can start something here. So I worked with Mary Jo from USK Global, and
Yeah.
she helped put this whole thing together.
Nice, nice, nice one. Okay, and so from there you were sketching, and then you joined the community and got onto the website and so forth, and saw the announcement of the regional event grant
Mhm.
fund. And so yeah, what was that journey to sort of decide to put your hand up and say, hey, we want to do this?
Yeah, well, I had done Sketch Racine in 2023, and it was fabulous. We brought in 60 people to Racine, and we went to Wingspread, which is a Frank Lloyd Wright building. And so it attracted people to Racine, to our small area. And so I thought, okay, that was the first annual. I'm going to do a second annual. So it was a weekend that people came in on a Friday, and we sketched through Sunday. And it was very fun. It happened about the same time as the symposium was going on in Buenos Aires. So a lot of people were going to go to that, but a lot of people don't travel, like you were talking about. And so I thought, well, I've already applied for a grant. Mary Jo said, why don't you try the regional grant? And so I sent my application to the regional grant. And for a small group like ours, we're just a brand new chapter. We're a When I say small, we're about 80,000 people. So it's not tiny, but it's not big like a big Chicago metro area. And
Sure.
so for us, having a grant, $2,000 grant from the regional is fabulous.
Nice one. And did you have any, um, I guess, arts administration background before applying? How do you
Yes,
operate
I
in the?
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was the executive director of the Racine Arts Council.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I fairly knew how to write a grant, and my grant was very, very detailed. I worked with two other people, and we unraveled the grant with lots of detail. And I contacted the Visit Racine County. They
Hmm.
love anytime you bring people into your city, the community loves that. We
Yeah.
get to show off where we live, which is what we
Yeah.
do as Sketchers. So it was a perfect opportunity to work with and collaborate with the Visitors Racine County Bureau.
Ah, that's a really good point. Nice one. If
Mhm,
yeah, if any of the viewers out there
mhm,
can have a takeaway tonight, that is something very useful to consider
mhm,
when you want to do a regional event or a larger event. Yeah, there are organisations in every city, region, suburb that
mhm,
does have a mandate to attract visitation,
mhm.
to domestic tourism, international tourism. Yeah,
And then they supported us. I mean, they became one of our sponsors. They gave
mm,
us our sling bag, which is what we put all of our goodie bag stuff in.
yeah,
They put it on their website. And, because of that, we became global.
yeah,
Before that, we were a small community. I mean, even though we're known worldwide because of some of the products that are made here, tractors are made in Racine, Wisconsin, and
mm,
we
mm,
have quite a few big commercial kind of things here, even though we're small. But having the global grant really put us on the map around the world.
yeah,
And still to this
yeah,
day, I'm able to add. I'm doing the sketch Racine again in September, and I've added USA to my
yeah,
to my logo. I say Sketch Racine USA 2026 instead of just Sketch Racine
yeah,
2025.
yes, gotcha,
So it
gotcha.
continues to be a visitor type situation where we're bringing people to our community because
Yeah.
of the help from the global grant.
Oh, that's great. That's great
Mhm.
feedback. So please tell us about your event that you were able to deliver in September.
Well, people came in on a Friday night, offered pizza as a fundraiser, and not a fundraiser, but as they came, they were able to eat. They got here from different parts of the Midwest. That's who we invited, was a Midwest people. So they came from 6 different states, and we had 60 people. This year we're hoping to get 75 to 100 people, which helps us
Yeah,
grow.
yeah, yeah,
And we sketched that night. We gathered. Everybody was so happy to see each other. Like, when you gather with sketchers, people are just happy. And then on
yes,
Saturday morning, we went to a farm. It was called Eco Justice Farm, and we sketched animals. So, because we all live in cities, we don't really get out into the countryside that much. So there were
mm-hmm.
alpacas there and geese and sheep. There were a couple of barns. So we had a great morning sketching. It was a little chilly, but I
Yeah.
offered kringle, which is Danish kringle, which the Racine, Wisconsin is known for its kringle. It's good pastry.
All right.
Then we came downtown, and I had connected with the Downtown Racine Corp, and our downtown harbor is located right on the lake.
Mm,
So people could spread out and enjoy the restaurant. So we were supporting the community through paying for our restaurant stay. Then
yeah.
we sketched boats and sketched the city. Then in the afternoon, we went to a local college where Abraham Lincoln has its only statue with his wife, Mary. And
All
so
right.
it's also in the historic district where there's 100 and 125-year-old homes, which also there is another Frank Lloyd Wright home here.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then we offered a dinner, and we hired a local restaurant, and they came in and catered. And then the next morning we went to that night then we went to a downtown bar on top of the roof. It's called Eve Rooftop, and so you could sketch outside. You could see two lighthouses, which we have two lighthouses on the lake. And then the
Mm-hmm.
next morning we went to a local. It's called the DeKoven Center, and it's the only place still in the United States that has a quadrangle. So it's 165-year-old Gothic style buildings shaped in a square. And it's just a gorgeous place to sketch. And it also was on Lake Michigan. So we had all those places to sketch,
Wow.
all those throwdowns. Um,
Yeah.
it was just a fabulous time together.
So between those, the boats or the farm and so forth, were people walking or were they driving? How do they get around?
They were driving. We had a map for everybody. So
Yeah.
everybody knew where we were going. We talked it through. We talked where parking was.
Mm.
Um, that in doing an event is the more details that you can give, the more signage that you can put out.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um, we had yard signs made. I'm going to show you this sticker
Yes.
because we were a local. This is the sticker we had made.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you can see it's the Great Lakes. I
Lakes. Yes.
outlined Wisconsin.
Yes.
You can see Michigan in there. It has the thumb.
Yes.
And so everybody got one of these stickers that they could put in their book. And then our yard signs had that same logo on it. So everything was designed. It was like a brand.
Yes.
Everybody knew who we were because of that. And then we also had stickers made with the regional logo on
Yes.
it.
Love it.
And everybody got that sticker.
Yes.
And then I want to show this hat because this is very cool. This is the sticker. This is the hat I made. And it
Yeah.
says Sketch Racine, but it also says Wisconsin, USA on it.
Wisconsin, US.
Yeah. And so
One of a kind.
one of a kind. Yeah, that was important for me specifically
Yeah.
because of creating the event and getting the grant. It was just a really cool thing. So that's how we worked it. So everybody knew where they were going and how to get there. And it was actually pretty flawless. We didn't really have too many problems.
Mm. Okay. And well, you said the weather was, you know, it was September, so
Stunning.
it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was stunning. We did have a plan for some inside sketching if we needed to.
Yeah.
But that's the cool thing. We did have good weather, and it was, say, 75 degrees in the afternoon and 65 in the morning.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So you're making me feel I need to get myself up that way to the Great Lakes and around there. And
It's beautiful here,
yes,
Eric. You
yes,
really should
I
come.
I did I attended the Chicago Symposium.
Ah, okay.
Yes, I was there, and so I got a taster of that part of the world, but
Yeah,
no further than the city itself. So,
yeah.
um, but what you're describing, there's a beautiful charm to that. There's a
Hmm.
beautiful way you've just described the capture and also the localized points of interest.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, the monuments, the Abraham Lincoln, the farm
Hmm.
and so forth, the lake, yeah, and that's why I'm really keen on also working with local authorities, tourism bodies, and so forth
Hmm.
to be able to because they want to tell that same story about their region as well.
Hmm.
And Urban Sketches literally captures that in an analog way, which is just unique.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I became such good friends with them that whenever I send them a sketch or whenever I tell them we have something going on, they want to support us and they're
yeah,
very grateful. We sent them our sketches. They put them on their website, their Facebook,
yes,
their Instagram. So we're having the third annual is going to be in September. And because
oh,
of that, again, they're going to give us the sling bag, but this time they're going to add a video before
oh,
and they're going to
yeah,
advertise for us before we do the event. So,
oh,
having the global thing, the
yep,
global grant really put us on the map forever. It's not just a one-time thing. You know,
oh, I
that's
love it.
yeah, that's the thing
Yeah.
that was so grand.
Okay, so let me pick out some of those outcomes
Hmm.
with the your ongoing relationship with the tourism body and so forth,
Hmm.
and um, so I guess those were some. I guess they weren't top of mind outcomes.
Hmm. Not at
So,
all.
but yeah, so the first one was just planning and delivering your regional event,
Hmm.
and so any other tips you can share with the viewers around planning something
Yeah,
regional?
one of the ways I didn't really have to spend much money on marketing
Mm,
because I connected with the admins from all of the USK groups. USK Twin Cities, USK Madison, USK Chippewa Falls, USK um, Cincinnati, USK Holland, Michigan,
Yeah.
USK. I mean, that's how I promoted the event. That's how we got the people from for the first time. The second time was even bigger, and I'm going to branch out again this year. And then those people that came the first time came the second time. So
Yes.
they were it gave them an exposure to Urban Sketchers Global rather than just their local chapter also. You know,
Right. Okay.
connecting
Yes.
our chapters together is a really big deal, but then connecting us to Urban Sketchers Global is really what it's all about, so that we can keep furthering and keep expanding who we are as a collective together, and that we're not just a small little entity, even though we're a tiny little town and a tiny little chapter. We are a
Hmm.
huge part of this global world
Oh,
community.
you listen, you're giving me goosebumps. You're just saying, you're seriously. I'm talking to you from Auckland, New Zealand, and it's
Yeah,
it's just past midnight here for me, but it's early morning for you, and but we're doing this together, and it's
yeah.
just,
And I
yeah,
feel like we're a family. I mean, that's how I look at
yeah.
Urban Sketchers. They've become my family.
Oh, nice one. That's
Hmm.
that's that's awesome. Just on now, in the background, I've got Christine Wald, our social media coordinator, just running a few things for us. So, Christine, I just wanted to share screen, um, just so the viewer. So there you go. That's on our website, and we do have USK Racine family photo.
Yeah, that's our family
There,
photo.
there you go.
That was
That's
at the
exactly.
farm. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. So that looks like an awesome turnout there. The
Yeah.
weather is shining, the shadows are sharp, so that
Yep.
means the sun is shining, and so nice one. Okay, so thank you for that. Thank you for the insights that you've got. You've already
Mhm.
said that you're planning future events, so
Mhm.
fantastic. And I dare say, yeah, your own personal professional background
Mhm.
has been able to
Mhm.
help with getting this up, well,
Yeah.
off the
Mhm.
ground, but also grow further as well. So,
Yeah. And the
uh,
other cool thing is, I guess North Carolina is trying to do a sort of a regional event, kind of like what we did in Racine. And they've asked
mm,
me to do a Zoom call next week. And so we're going to
okay,
talk through, how they want to do like a Southeast United States one, which is
okay,
really
nice
great.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, so so we were able to provide $2,000 to,
Hmm.
to your budget.
Hmm.
So what was the biggest expense that you had,
Food.
overall? Food? Yeah, yeah,
Food.
catering.
Yeah, food makes people happy.
Yeah, yes, yes,
Yeah, so we had an old Madrid, so we had tapas
yeah,
delivered to us, and it was really really good food. People absolutely loved it, and because of that, we're going to use the same place. I don't like
yeah,
to change things when it's so successful. I don't
yeah,
want to change it a whole lot. I think that's
okay,
another thing. You want to have intriguing new things, but you want to keep things calm and easy, you know?
yeah, yeah. I have the analogy of was it the swan on the lake when you're swimming around, but underneath it paddling furiously.
Yes, exactly.
As in terms of organising the event, was that of course it's a challenge. The first
It
thing, what
is.
is,
You need to gather people to help you. You can't do any of this alone. And
mm,
so I would say that's the other thing. Make sure you have enough people. One of the things we forgot to do is we forgot to get a cleanup crew for our dinner.
yes, yes,
So this year we're going to have a really nice setup for cleanup. We're going to have signups and um,
yes,
when it's in your head and you're organizing and you know all the details, it's hard to uh, sort of parse out what all the details really are in the end.
yes,
And I would say that's a piece to really think through also is what
yes,
what do you really need? I mean, get enough people because you can't have enough people, I don't think.
yeah.
And then
Good
there's
advice, good
there's
advice.
buy-in to it too, then they feel like they're a part of, and it's not just put on them. They're a part of the gathering and the organizing and the ideas. Ask for ideas. Don't just think you have all the ideas yourself. Because everybody has great ideas, and the more ideas that are thrown into the picture, the better your event is going to be in the end.
Well, I think we've just heard the gospel truth there about event management there. Nice one. Hey, Kathy, thank you very much. What I'm going to do, I'll let you out of the room, but please stay online because
Mhm.
I'll get you back towards the end of the program,
Okay, great.
just to close up. But hey, thank you for applying for the event grant.
Mm.
Thank you for delivering a successful event. Thank you for joining today on the program,
And
and
I just
we'll
want to
see.
say thank you so much, Eric. It's been a pleasure, and the grant was awesome. And just to know that we even could apply for a grant was a fabulous thing for our small little community.
Thank you very much. High praise indeed. Gratitude. Yes, thank you. So yeah, so we'll pop you out of the room right now. So there you go, viewers. Some useful insights there about planning your event, and also some that feedback around unexpected outcomes that can come from landing something significant. So so now I'm going to invite our next guest. The team from USK London applied for a regional event grant, and they delivered their event just in March, just gone. Um, and also their event was a little bit different, which we were really happy to see. Just something, a bit innovation coming on across our paths. So we were happy to support that. So please, I'd like to welcome into the room Sasala from USK London. And there we go. Hey, Sasala. Hey,
Hello, Eric. Can you hear me
how are you?
okay?
I can hear you.
Hello,
Nice one.
everyone. And Eric, thank you for
Okay,
having
so
me.
yes, we're thanking you for participating, in the regional event grant. So, yeah, I gave an allusion. Sorry, gave a we foreshadowed there about your event was a bit different to some other
Yeah.
events, but first of all, yeah, just yeah, please introduce yourself and talk about your chapter a little bit to the viewers.
Um, Thank you. My name is Sasala. I am one of the admins for the Urban Sketches London group. So, in contrast to what Kathy was talking about, our group is quite big and has been established for quite a while now. So, I'm fairly new to the group. I joined in 2021. Just before our 10-year anniversary came up in 2022. So I haven't been doing this for very long, but so we tend to do one sketch walk a month, which is organized. We tend to organize our 12 sketch walks the year before. Uh, and we tend to, because our membership is quite large, we tend to get somewhere between it can be anywhere between 50 to 100 people per sketch
All right,
walk. So
all right.
it can be quite challenging. Since 2022, our membership has basically blown the ceiling, so
Love it.
it's gone up quite a bit.
That's a big
But yeah,
throwdown.
our, our sketch walks are pretty crowded sometimes. But so our regional event was quite different. We decided to do an exhibition.
Mm,
We did a smaller exhibition for our 10-year anniversary in 2022. So we decided to do something similar, but slightly bigger. But it ended up being quite a bit bigger than we anticipated, which was good, but
yeah.
quite challenging in some ways as well. But I think we learned a lot from it. And the regional events grant has helped us sort of make it a success. It helped us secure the venue that we wanted, which was quite crucial for us. We got the ideal venue for the event. So yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
that's what we did.
Okay.
It's only
So,
2 weeks.
please, so just describe to the viewers about your event itself, but also some context around how you had to wrangle people and wrangle the
Mhm.
items for exhibition.
Yes, so when we heard that we got the grant, we sort of started fairly early, or like planning the event. We got our team together and we started. We Then we decided which venue to go for. Although we had in mind what we wanted to do, where we wanted to hold the exhibition, we had to secure it. So we managed to do that thanks to the grant. Um, One of the things we did quite early on was to engage the local community. So the venue is managed and hired out by the local council, Tower Hamlets Council in East London, and the Art Pavilion, which is the name of this venue. It's set in a lovely park next to a canal, and beautiful views, beautifully managed park, and there's a lot of local involvement in the venue. So there is a group called the Friends of Myland Park. So they live locally. They use the park. So we engaged with them quite early on. And the council helped us promote the event through their newsletters and online forums. On top of that, that's on top of our social media promotions and local newspaper articles and things.
Yeah.
And one of our admins, Helen, was very helpful in engaging local schools. So because we initially had the plan to have a community art project where people can come or children, or anyone, adults and children, can come and draw. So we had art materials, paper, uh, oil pastels, all sorts of art materials, so people can come and draw. So we
Lovely.
engaged
Lovely.
local schools so they can come and take part in that.
Were they high schools or primary
Uh,
school age?
I think a combination of local
Yeah.
schools. Also, several. I think she managed to communicate with several special needs schools as well.
Yeah.
So where so that was I don't know how. So that was slightly one of the challenges we had, was communicating with them and sort of getting feedback from them. But I think we did have, because I wasn't there throughout the week of the exhibition, I think few schools did come. There were a few school groups that did come and take part and look at the art that we had. They created art. There were lots of children who came um, to draw with their parents. So it was quite a
Oh, that's good.
good. Yes, and then. So we also wanted to give people we had a few aims. So one of the things we wanted to do was, because our membership kind of grew after 2022, we wanted to give our new sketchers an opportunity to display their work. So
Yeah.
we did a call out for artwork. So we got quite a good response. We actually had to reduce the amount of submissions in the end because of space limitations, but we had a very good response. Some people, quite a few actually, it was their first exhibition of displaying their work, so that was quite good. Also, we wanted to give a flavor of what we do regularly. So we had, because our exhibition spanned 2 weekends, we had 4 sketch walks planned.
Okay.
So we did we had four separate sketch walks in the local area, so people were able to walk to the sketch walk and walk back. So there's quite a lot of urban scenery that people can draw in that local area in East London. So there was one of the places was a cemetery park. It was a cemetery established in the 1800s in East London called the Tower Hamlets Cemetery Park. That was quite popular. So there were, it's a park, but it used to be a cemetery. So there's still these gravestones and things that people could draw. So there were very interesting sketching locations that we were able to find. Also, we managed to get 6 people to do demos for us. So 1-hour demos, concise. So they were free for people to attend. So the sketch walks and demos were all free. Anyone could attend. So the demos varied from sort of a primer to perspective sketching to sketching people. So one of our demo leads actually managed to volunteer a friend to come and do a poetry performance, so people could draw him. So that was one of our demos. So we had
Okay. All right.
so that was very interesting, yes, to get a flavor of how different our sketching sort of, how the breadth of our sketching really. So that was all 6 demos were very popular. All sketch walks were well attended. And then on top of that, we had 3 sketching stations. We had big sheets of paper with art materials provided, so
Mm-hmm.
anybody who comes in can draw from
Yeah.
observation. And the nice thing about the venue was it had beautiful glass windows where we set the tables, and people can just look out the window and draw the view.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it had quite a beautiful view. So so that was a really good place for that.
Oh, nice.
In terms of we got some extra sponsorship from several small companies. So Deep Light produced their own watercolor. So they gave us some. They gave us some art material. They also did a demo. One of the demos was done by them, and also SMLT Art, which provided us with some lovely paper and sketchbooks. So these art materials, we use them as goodie bags for our volunteers as a
Mm-hmm.
thank you present.
Mm-hmm.
So coming on to volunteers, we had about more than 40 volunteers actually. We did a call out for volunteers first before we
Yeah.
did the call out for artwork. So we had quite a big team already assembled. So we had various tasks, and so volunteers were a big key part of our exhibition. On top of that, we did some posters for
Yeah.
promoting the exhibition, as you can see, that's behind me, and we did some leaflets. Um,
Nice.
so this logo was specifically used for the exhibition. It was part of our logo competition, which we held in 2022 to find a London logo. So
Oh,
the person who designed it kindly let us use it for our exhibition. So this was the exhibition specific leaflet. We had all the events and map locations and dates and times and everything there.
mm-hmm.
And then we did a second leaflet, which we can use for rest of the year, actually, which has our schedule for rest of the year and
Clever.
some information on what a sketch walk is and all the other sort of little definitions like a glossary. And
Yes.
we did some stickers. We
And
also made some stamps using these
yes.
images. And
We love stickers and stamps.
yes, I know sketchers love stickers and stamps. They were quite popular. And we also did some volunteer badges. So volunteers wore some badges. But this is our regular. We make our own badges. So we have our
Yeah.
logo and we make our own badges. So we had those as well. That's So that was.
All right. That's no
What
small
we did
matter.
over a week. Yes, it was a lot of planning and organization.
Yeah.
But I think the admin team, the exhibition planning team, and volunteers were key to making it a
Nice
success.
one. Yeah, I think so. Just so you're over 2 weekends.
Over 2 weekends, so it
Yeah.
was 8 days.
Yeah. Okay.
8 days.
So was that how much of a challenge was that with just sort of coordinating volunteers? Did they do both weekends, or did they one or the second one, or how did it?
So when we recruited the volunteers, we created a rota for the volunteers. So we created a WhatsApp group. Well, first of all, recruiting the volunteers was through a Google form. So we called out and people could sign up to volunteer, and then they got added to a WhatsApp group, and then we created a rota from the people who wanted to. So they expressed interest in which sessions they wanted to do and which tasks.
Yeah.
So we needed volunteers for invigilation of the venue, to manage the sales desk, because we had our London book plus other books on sale, and the artwork was also available for people to buy if they wanted to. So we needed volunteers for that, and then sketchwalk leads, demo leads. So we had different tasks, which we planned on our Google form when people signed up for it, and then we created a rota. And then towards the end, we actually got 2 of our volunteers who will hopefully continue as admins with us. They were our volunteer leads, so they sort of managed the rota for us and coordinated all the volunteers'
So
tasks.
in terms of, you said you had some sales of the artwork, because that's sort of a semi-regular question that pops up about sales and managing money.
Yes.
So what particular solution did your team deliver to resolve about managing money?
So we have a when we started, we didn't have we're not registered as an official charity in the UK. So the bank account. So we had to set up a bank account in order to
Mm,
keep the money. So that is in one person's name, one of the admin's names.
right.
So it's at the moment it's managed as a personal account, but we are going to open a we can open a communities like a art communities account. So we'll be looking into doing something like that. So it can be managed using nominees, several nominees that can
Yeah.
manage, not just one person. So we're looking into that. But at the moment, it's just a personal account. But in terms of sales, we have a we can take card payments through like a small sum up device. So we're
Hmm.
signed up. We have a it's through an online
Yeah.
account. So we had that set up already from our 2022
Yeah.
events. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yes,
Yeah. I mean, every country, state has a slightly different banking scenario,
yes,
auditing, transparency, process,
yes.
tax, etc.
Mhm.
So, but it's good to know that more and more chapters are considering, either incorporating as a society or a non-profit, or
Yeah.
managing some sort of shared bank account.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, so so your event was in March, sort of at the
Mhm.
end of the
And
annual season, and
yeah,
so I guess you had, I guess, yeah, well, overall more months to plan your event.
plan, yes.
Any useful tips or learnings that you gained out of that?
Yeah, so planning early is very useful. It's because
Mm,
things take a lot longer than you think, because things can go wrong. There may be delays. Start planning early, as early as you can, really, and finding the right venue. I think is really important. So having the time is, I mean, also in terms of deciding when you want to do it, also depends on your team and on your venue, when you can book the venue,
mm,
there's availability, and also notoriously British weather can be quite unpredictable. So we had to sort of try, and we wanted to do it in April, but the venue wasn't available for us, so
ah,
we went for end of March. But our initial concern was whether we
yeah,
can go out and sketch, and how it's. But we were very, very fortunate. We had a lovely week of sunshine, very little rain, and it was a bit
love it.
chilly, but no
Yeah,
complaints. We were very fortunate. So finding the right place, doing it at the right time, promoting
yeah,
early is quite useful. So having
ah,
your promotional materials or leaflets or social media cards and things like that. Um, Assembling a team, and I think I can reiterate what Kathi said. Assembling a team quite early and understanding how many people you need, what tasks need to be fulfilled, is very important. That gives
mm,
you a lot of strength. Also, and in terms of, I think the biggest learning thing was for us is to be adaptable. So to be
okay,
prepared for the unexpected. Really, things
yes,
can
yes,
go wrong. Transport can break down, or trains can be delayed. People fall ill,
mm,
unexpected trips. So volunteers. So having more volunteers than you might necessarily need
yeah,
is useful. So having a few on standby.
yeah,
Um, is very useful. And then
okay,
the other thing that I would actually say is clear instructions for everyone. So people who are submitting artwork, how to submit, how to frame their artwork, how much things can cost in terms of framing and
mm,
printing and things like that. Also, very clear instructions to volunteers. So our admins were very, very good at sort of putting these things into leaf sort of
yeah,
instruction booklets to
okay,
be
okay.
used before
So,
and after.
so
So,
with that, well, Kathy said she had a arts administration background.
hmm.
Was there anybody yourself in your team with a project management background or anything like that?
I don't. I'm a biochemist, so I have no art background or project management background. But we had quite a few people who have art background, who are sort of illustrators or teachers.
Yeah.
We also had Isabel Carmona, who was one of our ex admins. She's no longer an admin, but she came on to the exhibition team to help out with the organization. So that she was a great pillar of strength. And we have people who are skilled at um, uh, things like Illustrator and who have
Hmm.
access to sort of imaging
Yeah.
software and things like that, which was very useful as well. And time on their hands.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the other thing. So because
It
we
is.
all
Yes. We are a global community of volunteers,
indeed.
and so yeah, we've got to make it work for us as
Yes,
well.
working to
Um,
each other's strengths really
yeah.
helped.
Yeah. Nice one. Oh, amazing journey. That's a that's a
Yes, it has
fantastic
been.
story.
It's been a big
Yes.
learning curve, and it's been
Yes.
fun doing it. It's a
But
lot of hard work, but
but
yes,
rewarding.
lots of learning. Very rewarding.
And
Yes,
when
we had
you
a lot
when
of
you
good
close it,
feedback.
yeah, you close the exhibition, close the doors, and you went out and had your final glass of wine. You were like, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, nice one. Thank you, Sasala.
thank you.
What I'll do is I'll let you out of the room. I'll help
Mhm.
Christiana, but I'll say a little something first, and then I'll bring you both back into the room, Sasala and Kathy.
Mhm. Okay,
But anyway, thank you for now. Love it.
thank you.
So there you go, team. There's two extraordinary stories from teams in USK Racine, USK London, doing regional events, and as you heard, both of them quite different. Which is, I guess, what I wanted to just share right now about the upcoming season. And I did mention earlier in the program that we are sort of slightly changing some of the criteria and so forth. Um, what I might do is I'll just share my screen with some. Well, let's have a look. We have developed a just some assessment criteria, or the sort of criteria that we want to see, and so we should have that up on screen. There we go. So this is the sort of the criteria that we look for, the assessment committee looks for in terms of the funding, and we have, as you can see there, the regional event grant. The goals, are to enable chapters to create new and larger types of events and activities, to fund chapters to deliver an event that is more complex than a regular sketching outing, generates an event that allows sketchers from nearby communities to gather and come. So if you're, we want your proposal to, look at those bullet points there and demonstrate how you're going to meet those criteria. That first one there is weighted at 40% of the weighting. We do have a level of creativity and innovation. So, if things go beyond, if you could demonstrate how things go beyond typical chapter activities, then we've got a 10% weighting there. We do have one here about the outreach and community growth. So that's about, does the event actively bring in people outside the USK community? Have you identified engagement with underserved community, members and so forth? And if you can show that, we would love to be able to see some proposals that demonstrate that outreach. We also need to look at the just the team itself, your core team, about the ability, the confidence and ability to deliver and plan a regional event. Um, of course, we are we're providing funding, and as a non-profit, we have to have confidence that our funding is going towards projects that have, the budgets are well justified. The team can identify where their spend is going to be, but also this is a part of the regional event where we want to be able to enhance an existing event. So, this funding should should take your smaller idea and how demonstrate to us how our funding can make your event bigger and better. So we don't want to fund all of your existing activity, but we want to take it up another level. And of course, our assessors uh, are derived from our subcommittee and also our executive board, and so we are allowed for a bit of discretion in terms of the assessor to be able to have some input into assessing the proposals that come in. So these can be found on our website. We can share these on our website as well. And for those apply, then and also when you apply, we're happy to have a conversation as well. So I guess there are I saw some other questions in the chat there about sketching on rainy days, on sketching cafes and so forth, Eventbrite, and about so I just answered the main criteria question. But that's in a nutshell. That's what we're looking for. We want to be able to deliver a program, support a program of delivered events across the whole year, and we have a maximum of 5 $2,000 grants. So I want to just close up the show. Please welcome back in Sasala and Kathi to the room.
Hi, Sasala. It's nice to meet
Hi,
you.
Kathy. Lovely to meet you too. It was lovely to hear about your event.
Thank you. It was great to hear yours too. I've been to London, so it was really fun to think about my time there. Such a great city.
So nice one, team. There was just some questions in the chat around. So, Kathi, did you use Eventbrite to sell tickets? So, Racine,
Yes, we did. It was $75 for each person to enroll, and that basically was just to cover things like our yard signs and all the expenses that we had. It was nice to have grants, but it was also nice to bring in just a little bit of money from the participant.
Yeah. So the question was, Eventbrite. Did you use Eventbrite to sell tickets?
We did not.
Okay. So you just did it through your Facebook or?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We don't have a website because we're so small, and so I have to find somebody that can take in a check.
Yes, okay.
And so the Racine Arts Council did it the first time. The second time we did it, we found a local art school. And this year we're doing a church, and they all 3 agreed to participate for us. Yeah.
So just demonstrating the importance of broader relationships, broader network of organizations to help support an overall goal, especially with money handling. It can be, there was a question around, sketching indoors. How do you, either of you go about, do you contact businesses ahead of time? How do you manage something like that? Maybe a Sasala,
Yeah, so the thing with London is because it's quite big, depending on where we go, sometimes we have to contact the business if it's an indoor sketching. So one of the examples is we sketched in Waterloo Station, which is a big train station. So we had to contact them to say that we're coming for various health and safety reasons. So I mean, it's possible. It's not a big problem, but we have to give certain numbers. But generally, we don't have to. If it's a public area, a park, or somewhere, we don't have to. People tend to, like, because we have large numbers, people tend to sort of spread out. They might sketch by themselves or in a small group. And usually if it's like in the center of London, then there are plenty of cafes that people can go into, and it's not been a problem. But I think the winter is the biggest challenge. We have to contact certain businesses if it's going to be fully indoors.
We definitely contacted everything. We set every single thing up because it was scheduled at certain times, and we were at venues that could only hold a certain amount of people. So we set it up, and they were very grateful that we did because they planned ahead and they were prepared for us.
Yeah, and you're going to go in and buy a coffee and a cake as well. Yeah, that's right. Especially for those who do food sketching. So a question there probably for Sasala about the guidelines for presenting the artwork. Did you have a specific cohesive guideline plan?
For submitting artwork, sorry, did provide cohesive or presenting the artwork. So we had, in terms of submission criteria for artwork, we had two main ones. One, it had to be done on location, so adhering to the Urban Sketches manifesto. The second criteria we had was it has to be of London, because that was the remit of our exhibition. So those were the strict guidelines. Apart from that, we had certain framing criteria just to make things consistent. So we said black or white frames unless there are artworks already in frame, so and good quality prints and things like that. So we also stipulated a hanging fee, £5 per artwork. So we kind of set out those instructions quite early on in the submission form itself. So yeah, we had a guide. I mean, if somebody wants the instructions, I'm happy to share it with them, because
Okay.
yeah.
Fantastic. And Kathi, you had guest instructors, and was there if you want to share about, how did you negotiate a fee or so forth?
We didn't have any instructors.
Oh,
This
sorry.
was, this was purely sketch walk, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Sketching. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's
Sorry.
different
Sasala
locations.
had Sasala had instructors. Sorry.
We had we had demos, so they weren't workshops. So we didn't pay the instructors as such. They weren't meant to be instructional, so they were meant to be like a demonstration. So the lead
Yeah.
would do the sketch, and people would either watch or follow with them. So yeah, so we didn't have. We try to keep the cost low as much as possible in terms of
Yeah.
accessibility. So we didn't need to charge people to
Mm.
do any of the activities. But
That's
we,
great.
because
Oh,
were very generous, we were able to give goodie bags to the lead, the volunteers, and the demo leads.
yeah.
So that was our.
Yeah. Oh, the context of that was a question coming in about the typical fee to pay for an invited sketcher. So I guess, yeah, there is, I guess, an answer to that question. There is not a typical fee per se, but it's a negotiation with each sketcher, whether
Mhm.
it's from experience, I know that there could be a fee, or there could be paying for costs of hotel accommodation, or
Mhm.
costs, lodging and so forth. So it's not a one sort of, yeah, it's not a one-stop shop in terms of paying for sketches. Um, but I guess, yeah, with that, I think we're gonna bring today's program to a close. Um, Thank you both, Kathi, Sasala. Amazing work. Now you're part of the legacy of regional event grants for Urban Sketches.
We are, and I
Um,
have two new friends.
yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
Around the world. For those who are watching, yeah, please go to our website and check out the listing for regional event grants. The period is open now. The applications are available now to submit. We will close those on the Sunday, 25th of May, and then we'll do the assessment period. The funded events can now, for this season, is taking place from the 1st of July to 30th of June 2026. Okay, so July to June, that is the funded period, which gives everybody a good length of time to consider, wrangle, plan, dream, as we do, go from local events to regional events, and how can we help you grow your idea, grow your regional event to a bigger and better place. So let's thank once again, Kathi. Thank you, Sasala. I'm going to thank
Thank you.
Christina, our social media coordinator, who's been in the background running the show. Other than that, it's good night from all of us. Thank you for joining us, and happy sketching.
Have a great
Thank
Good
day.
night.
you.
Thank you, Eric. Bye,
Bye.
Sasala.
Bye, Kathy.